Hey everyone, welcome to Everyday Shed. I'm Carlos, and in today's video we're going to continue working on a 6x12 shed. We're building this shed to be better and cheaper than a Tuff shed, and in today's video we're doing the roof, the trims, and adding shingles to this shed. Now let's start by bringing up the rafters on top of the walls. And the first thing we need to do is mark the edge of the rafters. And to do this, we place a square on top of the wall against the siding and you mark the end cuts. You do this on both sides, and this is going to make sure that the rafter fits inside the walls. And once both sides are cut, you place the rafter back on top of the wall. And now it's time for the seat cut. This cut should be perpendicular to the top of the wall. To mark this cut, you need a longer level. But at this time, I only had a square and a small level with me. On the other side, you're going to place a square against the wall for the vertical cut, and then again a level perpendicular to the top of the wall. After you made your cuts, the rafters should sit perfectly inside the wall. If not, this is the time to make adjustments. You're gonna need a total of 5 rafters for this shed. And once all the rafters are cut, place them 24 inches apart and drive 2 nails on each side. One thing to note is that the Tuff shed design is going to have a 2x4 rafters. In this project we use 2x6, but if you think about it, we cut so much into the 2x6 that this actually became a 2x4. Now on the free build plans that we have, I'm gonna keep a 2x6 design just so it matches this video. But if you want to save a few dollars, you can use 2x4 on your rafters. And remember, to access those free building plans, there's a link in the description. And if you're watching this on your TV like most of us, there's a QR code for you right here. Next, before we start installing the roofing deck, we'll pre-build our soffits. And all we need to do is screw a 2x4 along the edge of our radiant barrier OSB. And once that's done, we can bring the OSB onto the roof and install that. This is going to give us a 4-inch soffit in the front of the shed. There will be a couple small pieces that you're going to need to rip and install on the top of the roof. But overall, this shed is going to use a total of 3 radiant barrier panels on the roof. To measure how much trim we need for the front, I screw a scrap piece of trim on both sides of the shed. Then I was able to hook my measuring tape on one of the scrap pieces and measure the entire front. Then I created a stopper to help install the trim. First, you need to install the soffit trim and then the fascia. And this is what gonna give you the 4-inch overhang soffit in front of the doors. And once the soffit is trimmed out, we'll continue working on the trim by measuring, cutting, and installing each piece one at a time around the whole shed. Now it's finally time to start working on the roof. For this roof, we're gonna need 3 rows of roof underlayment, each at least 12 feet long. To make it easier, unroll the underlayment on the ground, cut it to size, then you bring it up to the roof with you. To install the underlayment on the roof, start from the bottom and work your way up. Make sure to overlap each row by at least 6 inches. It's okay if you overlap more than 6 inches. Actually, this will make it easier when you get to the last row, so you don't have to cut anything. To secure the underlayment, use plastic cap nails, as recommended by the manufacturer. And once all 3 rows are installed, cut off the excess and we're ready to move on to installing the drip edge. Installing the drip edge is pretty simple. I start from the sides. I take a snippet and I make a mark where my cut needs to be. Then I cut across the drip edge and also onto the sides. Next, I want to fold, making a 90-degree bend. Just remember that the drip edge on the lower side needs to go underneath the underlayment. And the drip edge on the side of the shed needs to go over the underlayment. And finally, you secure the drip edge with roofing nails or a roofing nail gun. For now, you only need a drip edge installed on the sides and front of the shed. We'll take care of the drip edge that goes on the back after we install the shingles. Now, it's not my favorite part, but it's time to bring the shingles to the roof. A bundle of shingle weighs about 60 to 80 pounds. If that's too heavy for you, it's okay to open the bundle on the ground and bring up only what you can carry. The good news is that this shed only needs a total of 3 bundles of shingle. And before we start installing the shingles, we need to install a starting strip. This will be installed just like the drip edge. It goes along the sides of the shed and on the lower part of the roof. And now we get to install the shingles. We start by placing a full piece of shingle lined up with the drip edge and the corner of the shed. And we drive 5 nails and one on the upper corner. Then we'll take a second shingle, align with the bottom white line of the previous shingle, and is staggered by 6 inches. Then we'll drive another 5 nails onto the shingle just above the white line and one on the upper corner. We'll then take a third shingle and repeat the process. Staggered by 6 inches, we now drive 3 nails above the white line and one just on the corner. We're going to repeat the process of staggering a shingle by 6 inches and nailing on top of the previous one until you reach all the way to the top of the roof. One helpful tip is that to save all the excess you cut from the shingles so you can use on the opposite end of the roof. When you reach the top, you can cut all the excess with a knife. It is much easier if you use a hook blade on your utility knife. To complete the shingle installation, we want to add a drip edge to cover the last row of nails and the sides. So we're going to take a drip edge and apply 2 thick beads of roof sealant underneath it. These roof sealants will come in either black or white color. Just grab one that matches your drip edge. Then you take that same roof sealant and apply over the nail heads on the drip edge. And with a spatula or a piece of roof shingle, you can spread that sealant around. And remember, there's a set of free build plans in the description, or if you're watching this on your TV, in the QR code right here. And that free build plan not only can help you get started, but also there's a section in there that you can go through and figure out whether you want to build or buy a shed like this. Now, next step here is obviously building a door and throw a coat of paint in the shed. If you want to check that out next, there's a video for you right here. If you want to check out everything from start to finish on how to build the 6x12 shed, there's a video for you right here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.